My name is Gabriel Burgos, and I am a living miracle. I want to tell you tonight that God wrote a book about our lives. He says in the book of Psalms, the 139th Psalm, it says, "Your eyes saw my substance being yet unformed, and in your book they are all written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them." Even before we knew that God was there, He was there. Today I would like to start in chapter 28. Chapter 28 is a lot better than the first 27 chapters of my life. Because in the first 27 chapters of my life, they were full of heartache, they were full of heartbreak, they were very depressing, full of hurt and pain, and a lot of sorrow. No one wants to hear a story like that, right? And so it's so important that we know and we understand that in chapter 28, you got to know chapter 28 was great. And in back of a liquor store, I'll never forget it, I was speaking about my life, and I was speaking about the things that I was going through, and I was contemplating things, and out of nowhere, this young kid comes up to me. He couldn't be no more than 10 or 11 years old, and he comes up to me and he tells me, "You know something? This is not God's plan for your life." Oh my God, I lost it. I was infuriated. I chased him for a whole block, and he got away. Couldn't run that fast, I guess. But you know, things began to look up in chapter 29, because during chapter 28, I began to call on the name of the Lord. And in chapter 29, that's when my story became His story. A story of deliverance, a story of promise, a story of being set free from the devices that held me back, from the hurt that kept me, from the guilt, and from all those things that kept me from living and having a good life. All those things came, and no longer was there anger, no longer was there depression, no longer was there hurt. But man, you know what? I was free. I was free. I was free from the pain because He touched my life. And that's when I knew He had something great in store for me. I couldn't, and I still can't keep my mouth shut about Him. To this day, 20 chapters later, I can't stop telling the untold and reaching the unreached. I can't stop telling them about a God who can save them from anything and everything. You can discover hope in Jesus. In Jesus Christ, there is hope. My knight in shining armor, He is. You see, my book went from being a very bad story, or a story of tragedy and pain, to becoming an epic life of joy and happiness, never to be the same again.